Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday.
We're
It's
here.
us, the Fangirlz. We've assembled. We're live.
That's right. As we do,
As we do sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well, today we're here to talk about Clementine Book 2, which I got my copy from In Stock Trades.
I did too.
Oh my gosh, you know where you guys could get it? The same place we got ours.
Yeah. As you should, because they're going to have the best deal on it.
That's right. And do we have a deal of the month? Because I saw a book on there.
I think you know we do.
That was like, I was like, oh shit, I gotta tell Kristan. I was like, wait a second, it's on the front. She chose this.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
You can get your books up to 50% off. And of course, you spend $50 in the United States, you get free shipping. You've heard all this. You know about its great packaging. But did you know about our book of the month right now? You get a deal. Let me share real quick. It's Cat on the Hero's Lap, Volume 1.
Look at this cover.
I don't even know anything about it. I don't need to know.
I don't need to know either. I got the title. I got the little smushy face. It's adorable. I need it.
Exactly.
I have ordered it. It is 50% off right now until Tuesday.
$7.50, can't beat it. Too good.
Love that.
Too good. And looks like we have some other cool stuff. Steven was talking about Adventures of Superman John Kent. He said it's really, really good.
Okay.
I think John Kent gets a boyfriend in this one.
See, that's one I may actually read. And for $12.49.
$12.49.
Amazing. That's honestly,
you're
it's like
throwing
it's free.
Away your money.
We were just talking about girl math, and it's like it's free.
Girl math.
You're actually gonna lose money if you don't buy that. I'm just saying.
Exactly. You can't take your money with you when you die. And you can't take your books either, but you can read your books.
Yes.
So, might as well be happy.
Absolutely.
Poor advice. So just be happy.
You got that Ice Cream Man Volume 2 Deluxe. 50%
Look at that.
off.
Sunday edition.
So cool.
It's a Sunday right now.
So you have to buy it. That's actually the rules.
I don't make the rules. We just tell you. We share what the rules are.
Yeah.
You. So you should check it out. Check out Stock Trades. Christmas is coming up. It's going to be here before you know it. I'm one of those people that I really like to, when possible, buy all my Christmas gifts the weekend before Thanksgiving, because I know it's going to be crazy after that.
Yeah.
So anything that I am buying, I try to go ahead and buy.
Yeah.
And I'm making a lot of gifts this year. So I'll be, I guess, just making a lot of gifts up until Christmas hits. But,
love that. That's awesome.
So take my advice, everybody. Go ahead and get your stuff now, especially because the Black Friday deals are already out. Let's be honest, the Black Friday deals.
A lot of them
already dropping them.
Yeah. Yeah. People are dropping them early, which is nice.
Yeah. I don't know what, if anything, I'm buying, but I'm keeping an eye out.
That's right. Me too.
I wish I had a Roomba. That would be well, like my lame adult. Like, I wish I had a little Roomba robot to clean my floor.
You know, we tried that once when we found one like very discounted.
Yeah.
Did I tell you the story?
No.
Oh, the cats were terrified, especially little Willow. I felt so bad. I thought it would be like those viral videos you see of cats riding it, and I was like, they're gonna ride it. It's gonna be great. And no, the moment it was out, like Willow jumped like 10 feet in the air, and I felt awful, and we had to take it back. So it worked.
I would be worried because I had a friend who had one, and they really liked it. They have 2 cats, beautiful cats. But what happened to them is what happens to many pet owners. There was a poop incident.
Oh no, I've heard about those too.
And your Roomba.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's going to try to clean up, but it's going to just spread it all over the house.
Yikes.
So, and I'm like, knowing my luck, that would happen. But I would never have it run during the day. It would be like at nighttime.
Right. Where you could like monitor it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Because if it was during the day, I don't know my dog's going to do that.
Yeah, no.
Destroy it, probably.
Okay.
Yes, I love cat time.
Bye, Buffy.
Bye, Buffy. Hi,
you
Buffy.
Gonna stay there?
Oh. We've been blessed.
Don't think about it up there.
Jump to the top, Buffy. Jump to the top. You can do it.
She's like, should I knock things down? Should I
knock things down, Buffy? No one can stop you. She's alive. Look at her go.
There she. Okay. Now she's thinking about. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, today we're talking about Clementine Book 2, which has a cat in it. Very important.
Oh my gosh, it does.
It does have a cat in it.
It does have a cat in it.
Kelly Walden knows what's up.
Yes.
You know, she gets it. I did not reread Clementine Book 1 before reading this. I feel like I remember most of it. And I saw that you did, so I was like, well, one of us did, so it's fine.
Right. Well, and I will say, so I think you and I both loved the first one. Is that accurate?
Oh, yes, too? Absolutely.
Yeah, 5-star read for both of us. And I wanted to revisit it to remember everything. And I have to say, after I finished the second volume,
yeah,
I think it's even better.
I do too.
100%.
So I guess background. I know people have heard us talk about Clementine before. So this book series is the second one, just came out. This book series is a continuation of the Walking Dead Telltale games. But you don't necessarily need any of that to understand the books. We've had a lot of people read Clementine be just fine without playing it. Mark just ordered a copy. And his in stock trades order because we talked so highly about it.
Well, by the way, it's the first volume is still in the red tag sale. I think it's like $3. So
yeah, that's why.
Yeah, if you haven't grabbed it yet, definitely grab it now.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend that. And basically, this is in the Walking Dead ethos. You can read Clementine without having played or watched any Walking Dead because you're very aware how things work. There's zombies have been there for some time. They are living in a post-apocalyptic world, just doing their best to survive. And within the first Clementine book, even there's already flashbacks that kind of give you this insight into Clem's past.
Yeah,
so I will say reading this will spoil bits of the game.
Sure.
But not a ton, just some of the big moments.
Yeah, it does go through things that happen, which is nice for a reader, of course.
Yeah, because you need to know what she's been through. Because she's a younger girl. I'd say, I don't even know how old she is when this is happening.
I think she's 17 in the second book.
Okay. But when she first starts out, when this first happens, she's like, I don't know, 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty young when, the apocalypse happens, when all of the zombie apocalypse. So that's, the background for what's happening. At the end of the last book, basically, without saying all that, she ends up going from getting out of the place where she is, ending up in another place. Up north to more of a coastal-ish area.
Yeah, and so much happens in that first book that I forgot about.
Happens.
I knew a lot happened, but I was like, I didn't remember.
Yeah. So yeah, this one we start out with we have these 3 girls together, Clementine included, and a cat. Well, I guess is the cat now or the cat at the island?
They find the cat on the way.
Okay.
At some point.
Yeah, I
don't know if that was the end of the second book or at the end of the first book or the beginning of I don't know. They get a cat, and I'm already worried, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The moment it happens, I'm like, oh no, I'm very upset about this cat situation.
Yeah, so they end up getting to the coast. They're not doing well. They're just barely hanging on. They're still starving, and it's getting harder and harder now, this far into all of this, to find food. And much less medicine, because Clementine has an amputated leg that's not doing well. Right? And they end up being picked up by people on a boat and taken to this island where everything seems okay. As anything. And Clementine's been through many a situation where everything seemed okay. The island is really far away from zombies or walkers, I guess you'd say. When walkers end up on shore, they're fairly easy because of the cliffs to get rid of. And everyone's taking care of each other. They're all working hard. They've got food. They've got houses. They're in a pretty isolated place. So they don't have to worry about other people, at least.
Well, when we start this book, we're in a really interesting position with Clementine because she was in a light coma.
Yeah.
And if you know how the first book ends, obviously we know she's alive, and
Yeah.
but she was in a little bit of a coma. So she wakes up in this whole other like world essentially, because she's used to being in, I mean, especially when they were in the mountains in the first book, like everything's freezing. It's like a terrible
Yeah.
situation and a lot of bad things happen. So then when she wakes up and like, I mean, these people are having parties. Like,
Yeah, like night one, she's like, oh, well, this person's not here because she's at the party. She's like, what are you
like,
talking
how
about?
is that? Which is so fun and different because you're like, wow, like these people really don't have, they're truly carefree in a lot of ways. You know, they've built a sustainable situation for everyone, which she's never had. So seeing her
No.
navigate that and getting used to it versus the other people with her
Yeah.
and those dynamics is really interesting and nice. And of course, yeah, you think everything's fine until, of course, it's not. I mean, nothing's going to stay
Oh,
that
I
way.
never expected that. Yeah, but what I really liked is like, I feel like I've been with Clem for a long time, so I feel a weird like connection to her. You know, but the people that she's with, they're like, oh, we want to stay. Like, don't you see? Like, this is it'd be really good, like stable place for us. I want to make this a place for us. This we could do really well here. And she's still like suspicious of everyone, for good reason. Because this is not the first time that Clem has been in a stable place, a place that is self-sufficient, that has people, right? Same with like The Walking Dead. You know, you see this play out often. Same with Last of Us, right? You
Yeah.
find a place and you're like, is this actually stable? Can I actually stay here? What's the weird underbelly? Because for Clem, it's like, oh, this is a nice house. It's a farm. This is really nice. Are these people cannibals? Or this is a great place. Wait a second, is this a cult?
Yeah.
Or is this, because you never know really what's going to happen.
Yeah. Are these people going to kill me in my sleep?
And then so for the other two, you know, they don't have as much experience of that. So they're like, oh, we found a place, we're good. And she's like, I can't really get there. Because like right from the bat, she has to give up some of her like, she has to be vulnerable because she wakes up and she doesn't have her prosthetic on. And they put her in a wheelchair. She's being pushed over there. She's like, I don't like this. What if somebody attacks? What am I going to do this? She's like, you're good right now. I promise you're fine. We'll get everything squared away. So from the get-go, she's like, wait a second. I woke up. There's a party. I've been asleep. And I don't have access to my like mobility aid that I'm accustomed to using. And it's also cool because like the minute she wakes up too, there's like a ton of people of varying disabilities, basically. You see other amputees as well. Which I love that they have a lot of that in this book. Where they're not just like, oh, you're disabled, you're dead. It's like people have survived. They've found ways.
Well, and even like when she talked to that other kid who had his arm amputated, who was so sweet, she was just like, oh, what happened to you, you know? And he was just like, oh, it wasn't a walker, it was like a dog, and it was a different situation, but something that still had to happen.
Didn't believe me.
Yeah, that was like
my arm anyways.
That was horrific. Yeah, horrific.
Oh, yeah. There's so much to talk about here. Because I feel like a lot of this book focuses on just Clem allowing herself to be vulnerable, but in like not just like in apocalypse way, but be close to somebody. Because like she has this girl who likes her, and they like each other, but Clem isn't ready. She's too scared to make a move at all. But part of that's because she's like, I need to settle this first. Yes, I love you and I'm here for you, obviously. Although I'm not saying it, but like I need to make sure that this place is safe first before I can do that. And she'll respond with, hey, when is going to be the right time? Like, why do I have to wait for you to do something else to love me and be there for me? Because she's like, I don't feel loved. I don't feel like you're ready. And it's like this fearless character just having a lot of fear in her.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of that too is like anytime she's let herself open up and love someone, They die. Like, we see it time and time again. So that's
Yeah,
gotta
and
mess up.
I lived that with
Yeah.
like when a
Oh my
certain
gosh, yeah.
character came back from season 1, and I was like, oh
Mhm.
my god, we're together
Yep. Yep, every time, every time.
every time, every time.
So you feel for her the whole time, but
Yeah,
I really liked how much time we spent. I mean, the whole book set on that island, but
yeah,
I like how much time we spent with everything being okay and being able to see that, and you really go along on that journey with her. So you
yeah,
start feeling like you're like, well, I know I'm reading an Walking Dead book, but you start feeling like maybe everything is okay. Like,
yeah. We're just gonna be fine here.
yeah, which gets you in a nice headspace for a little bit, and you can feel what she's feeling. Oh,
Yeah.
really? She's rubbing against the microphone. I'm sorry.
Yes, Buffy ASMR. Let's go.
You gonna purr into that, Buffy?
I love her. That's so satisfying.
It's very nice.
Yeah, and I really love like so we have these other people in the village. Not all of them we spend time with. Some of the kids we do. And there's the lady who runs the place, who's like a doctor, but she mostly studied like dead bodies now they die, but not so much like a person who does autopsies, but kind of like more historical, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, and that's interesting too because she's like, anytime there is, I mean, there's so many walkers that were killed again, like
Yeah,
who were taken care of. That she's cataloging all of those, and she's going
yeah.
through all of those, and like, which is when you think about it, truly bonkers, right? Because it's
Oh
like they
yeah,
never finish, and why?
yeah. Because basically, she wants to give honor to these bodies, regardless of what happened, regardless of what state they died in. So when these walkers, wind up and they kill them, she then takes those bodies, examines them to kind of get an idea of the piece of their life and how they died, and then she buries them. So like, and that is how she's spending all of her time. She's not doing work for the island, which is hard to read. Because I'm like, what are you doing? Because I'm more like Clem. Like I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this thing? You do not need to be. Should not be the focus. Because like you said, and like every people said in the book, you will never be done with that. And I guess it gives you a peace of mind that you are helping kind of like helping these people in some way.
Yeah.
Like honoring them, making sure they have peace.
And that's the
But
big
I'm
thing.
like, there are people here that need you.
Yeah.
The dead don't need these people here need you more. Your kids need you here.
That's something she clearly doesn't get.
No.
And we learn that there's this, like, all of the people that were previously in their town pretty much that died, they're still walking around as walkers in this big area. And
Clem's yeah. Like, when I saw that, I was like, "Are you serious?" Because there was some like infighting, so they walled themselves off on the island. But then eventually something happened; they all died. Oh my gosh, beautiful girl! But when Clem finds out, she's like, "Are you serious? You have a whole part of this island that's just walled off, and you're not going to focus on them." She's like, "Yeah, but I'm trying to like bury all these walkers that come up on shore." And she's like, "What are you doing? Are you serious?" Like, yeah, but they're walled off. She's like, I have seen things like this where people have been walled off. It's just a walled off group of walkers, and they have broken through on less. This is insane. It's gonna mess up your whole island. But you want to focus on these guys. She's like, okay, I'm gonna take care of it. But inevitably, and it's one of those things like you're like, okay, if Clem hadn't gone to take care of it, would have been fine. Is it that she started to do that other people did things incorrectly? Like what was like the tipping point?
Right.
And it's hard to tell. Because I still think she did the right thing. And I think that lady was just being delusional.
Oh, 100%.
I think that's probably her not wanting to deal with her own past, too, because she had a daughter that was bitten and then biting several members of the family. And then they didn't do anything about it. Like, yeah, and so maybe that's just her way of kind of coping with it. But, lady,
Yeah, didn't work out. Didn't work out for you, lady.
Insane.
Truly
I
insane.
just,
They had such a nice thing.
yeah.
And it makes me wonder, there's going to be one final book. And I'm like,
I'm
how's this whole
excited
thing
for
gonna
it.
end? Yeah, me too. But I'm like, how's it gonna end?
I don't know. Because, like, at the end of this, like, they meet the people. You kind of have an idea of where things are going to go a little bit. And I already really love the group that she has and kind of the confidence she has in her group. It's a mess.
Truly.
You got one that's pregnant, one that's blind
Huge,
now,
yeah.
and then you've got Clementine, who, she's got a prosthetic on, so she moves slow, and they got a cat. I guess they got the other kid. But, like, basically, this is what they've got, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the but she's like, hey, you'd be lucky to have us. Or I think they're right. I mean, they've survived this long by being this way.
Well, and that's a huge thing too. They're like, oh, people underestimate us real fast. And then, even during this, like Clementine coming out of nowhere and being able to like destroy a walker, and people are like, whoa, didn't expect it,
Yeah.
out of her. It was just, it was really great. And to be able to see this whole journey with the island again, I love the first one. I think this one's even better. I would anticipate the last one being even better.
Oh, absolutely.
Both. Yeah.
Again, so many disabled people.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Some of which were disabled pre-outbreak, and they have survived. And I think that's not that I expect us to see. Not like I'm just like, oh man, if it happens, we'll be prepared. Like, we'll be inspired. But that's silly. But, like, it just, there's so many, like, it's that sort of representation matters deal. That if this was on near mint condition, people would say different things in the comments. But we have our cool people in the chat here. They're like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? It's who cares what their stories are, how they're, it doesn't matter. People just want to read books about people. You don't care. Shut up. Representation matter makes people feel good. And be able to see it like, oh, there's someone like me there that can survive. That can be in this kind of genre. And be important in this genre. Matters. Because there's so many people that, like, with their kids that have disabilities or, like, grow up and have disabilities. Because eventually, there's a good term I heard from somebody, maybe it was T. Franklin, a good phrase. They were like, we're all just, like, temporarily able. Because eventually you will not be. Right?
Yeah.
It just feels good to see everyone represented. You don't have to be one type of person to, like, exist in a genre or certain, like, story.
It's so true. I mean, even like you said, just seeing someone with a prosthetic in general, we don't even see that often in comics, let alone, I mean, this is a major, like, I was like, what do you call the Walking Dead major franchise, I guess, like, at this point?
Yeah.
And that's huge, that's really cool to see.
Mm-hmm. In a blind character, I'm like, oh, let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's incredibly interesting.
We do talk about, because there's a scene that I really liked where one of the characters is putting together like a little synagogue on the island, basically. Like a place where they can all be there, kind of a place for them that they could feel at home. Because she never got to have her bat mitzvah, so she wanted to. But she doesn't remember all the Torah. They don't have access to those things, right? None of them have regular schooling. Clementine has difficulty writing, like there's, and so they just kind of each share what they've learned from different books or things that they've read or different phrases that they've heard. I thought that was really cute. Like, it just, of course, because she's like, hey, I don't remember what all the Torah says. I think it was something like this. And like, hey, share something from a book you've read. Like, oh, well, there's this like phrase from like a poem or something. And it was just like, oh, this word means this and that means something to me. And them kind of sharing this little moment.
Yeah, that was super cute. They're like, we're all at our bat mitzvah. Like, and I was like, oh.
Our bat mitzvah. She's like, I do feel older. Yeah, like, this is so sweet.
It's really cute.
Oh, and also seeing all these girls learn about their bodies that they didn't know what any of that meant. So when they gets pregnant, she's like, oh my God, I've been bitten. This is the end for me. I feel something moving right here in me. And like, no, you're pregnant, that's a baby. She's like, wait, what? Like, she had no idea. And the doctor had to explain things like cervix and like all these like medical terms. She's like, did you know this is how this works? She's like, yeah. I mean, Clementine didn't know that your period stopped when you're pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Things that are so like, even though Clementine literally saw a baby being born, has no idea how the rest of that works.
Which is wild. But you think about, like, again, she was a kid when this started.
Yeah.
You know, there's even moments in the first book and the second book where she's learning words. You know, they're all learning words. Like one of the girls will say, this word, do you know that word? And, you know, Clementine's like, no, or they'll look it up and they'll try to sound it out. And they're still trying to learn, even though they never had that.
And you just think about how quickly that knowledge gets lost. Like, which is wild. Like, if everything went down, you know, your 6 or 7-year-olds growing up and things, they didn't have access to any of that stuff they have access to now. And they're on the road. They're not going to know. And so think about the future generations, they're not going to do it either. Like, how fast everything just is gone. That's right, we got a special guest today.
Yeah, Buffy says hello.
Little baby. Oh, I want to pet her, little baby.
Oh, she was your bestie when you were here.
My bestie. I love her. Yeah, this was great. I mean, Tilly, again, killed it.
100%.
Absolutely killed it.
Truly think it was better than the first.
I do too.
If you guys haven't checked it out, again, IST has the first volume for like $3 right now.
Yeah.
Get it?
There's just so many levels to this book. I mean, there's really so many. She really does this character justice.
Well, and what a perfect person to find for it, you know, because you and I were always huge fans of the game.
Oh,
and Clementine is a character in the game, and you're just like, wow, like this is such good storytelling.
Yeah.
And I never thought we would see her outside of the game in any way. And then when they announced this book and it was Tilly, it was like, oh, hold on. No, this will be perfect.
Yeah.
And it is.
And I recommend, like, if you're all in the chat, if you don't like playing games, which I understand, you could watch just like the cutscenes of the Walking Dead Telltale game.
Still a great story, yeah.
So worth it. It's very fun to play even if you're not into games like that, because it's not so much like there is some shooting things in there, but it's not really like that. It's mostly just the decisions you make, than anything else. But
there's not really tons of actual gameplay, you know. There's a bit, but yeah, it's mostly like make the decision or this one to affect the outcome, and it's very interesting.
So good. Like, it's one of my favorite games to play with somebody else, where we like switch off each episode or at least chapter of an episode, whatever it is. And then we help each other make decisions. It feels really fun to be building that story together and to just be wrecked emotionally.
Yeah, you'll cry.
And all your decisions carry on to other games and stuff. So when you make a decision, it affects everything else. So it just feels really cool. And I feel like that I still stand by those games and Clementine's story being my favorite out of all the Walking Dead. Out of the show, out of the comic, all of it. To me, this is the Walking Dead I want. Because you spend time with people. And, you know, with the show, it got out of hand. I feel like so fast. And in the comic, it wasn't as exciting to me.
Well, and I recently, with Jessica, reread the first comic. And I mean, I still enjoyed it, but we definitely didn't get to sit with people enough. I think they did that better in the show. Yeah. You know, I did fall off the later seasons too, but I've been thinking about going back through it because you do, at least in the show, like get to like experience people. But it's like you said, even if you didn't love the show or you're not familiar with the show, you can go into this and just know, okay, there's a zombie apocalypse. That's it.
Yeah. That's all you need to know. It made going into the show after or reading stuff better because there's some characters in there that like go on the show. But, Clementine's perfect.
Great. That's great. Read it.
Just perfect person to follow through the apocalypse, you know?
Absolutely.
I love my little girl Clem and her hat.
I'm glad to see her journey continue, you know, because we didn't get that.
Well, you don't need to go back and at least watch the last couple of games or whatever, because I don't
Mhm.
really know
Yeah, I need
what happened to
to.
that kid.
I need to do
was
that
so
too.
sad.
Yeah,
Is he
absolutely.
okay? Where is he? I have no idea. Well, I reckon that's all I got.
Yeah, me too. It's okay.
Our next show is that Wayne Family Adventures?
Yes. And we're doing Wednesday. If that's
Yeah.
good still. Yeah. Okay.
It should be.
Cool. We'll be here Wednesday. Wayne Family Adventures. The first 2 volumes, which I don't know how many episodes that is on Webtoon, but those.
Mhm.
That's how I'm gonna read it. Buffy, really?
Yeah.
Now she's just trying to.
Get it. Buffy, get a copy. Yeah, that should be just fine. I may end up having to do it for my mom's house, but because I'll be making so many sweet potato casseroles.
Oh.
I'm making at least 3 this
Wow.
week. So
Big work.
yeah, my sweet potato casseroles are really good. No marshmallows, heathens.
Heath.
No. It's not what you do.
I love that.
You have a little fun crust. No marshmallow. And I love
Crust sounds
marshmallows.
nice.
Oh, it's good. It's good. And I made 2 frozen peppermint cheesecakes this past week.
Ooh.
Because I was like, well, everybody else is going to make their mid sweet potato casserole pecan pie. So that's usually what I make. So I was like, well, fine. I'll make something else. And I killed.
Nice.
So good.
Nice.
So, humble brag. Oh, yeah.
Love
Do you
that.
make any? What do you do for Thanksgiving? Do you make anything or do you just.
So Reed's grandma loves going to Cracker Barrel on Thanksgiving.
That's really cute.
Yeah, that's their favorite. But we were like, we don't feel that this year. And then Kyle's wife invited us over there. So we're actually going over there for the first time.
Ah,
And they do like different food every year. So she's making Caribbean food.
oh,
And I'm like,
That's
that's
fun.
cool. Yeah.
nice. I am bringing back my T. Hanks Friendsgiving, where we do the Tom Hanks movies all day. So that's officially going back
Nice.
next week. So I'm excited for that. Yay! I'm glad you like the peppermint cheesecake. I make it with an Oreo crust.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It's so good. Very easy to make, actually. All right. Well, I reckon I'll go eat lunch. I think I heard my husband in the kitchen.
Well,
I will say if you're looking for something to do, because I know Jess and Jess will be on today.
mm-hmm.
On our channel.
Yep. I'll
What
be
time
watching.
is that, Jess?
I believe it's 1 Eastern.
But if you're looking for something to do between now and my friend Maple's Menagerie, I'll drop her link in the chat. She is playing on Twitch all weekend to raise money for the Children's Hospital through Extra Life. So if you're looking for somebody just kind of chill,
That's awesome.
even if you don't donate, if you're just like hanging out in the chat, like the numbers can help Twitch like join in and stuff. So I definitely recommend just kind of hanging out, saying hi. I'm sure she appreciates it. She's playing some spooky games, which is great because that means whenever I have points, I play a little jump scare sound. It really freaks her out. And somebody did that when she's doing an ad, and she's like, "Oh, fuck, shit! I'm doing this for our children." Stop. It's so good. It's so
Nice.
good. So I recommend that. But anyways, have a good rest of your Sunday, everybody.
Yeah, and treat yourself. Get
Treat
some
yourself.
Clementine from InStockTrades.com.
Yeah. But I'm just Goodbye.